All right, what's up, guys? Nick Kaufman here, and I think I'm gonna start doing a thing where I drop a video every Monday, and it's just gonna be like motivational Monday or like motivational video Monday or something like that. Like I'm gonna make that the hashtag, like maybe Monday motivation. Yeah, maybe like Monday motivation. I think I like that. But yeah, so I'll just be dropping a video every Monday where I just try to give you guys some motivation. Like anybody that, watches my video, supports me, follows me, whatever, just, maybe randomly comes across my page. It's just gonna be, you know, some a raw talk to try to help motivate you guys keep on going, keep on getting through in it. Because I think motivation is very important. I think it's an important piece of life to have motivation, to strive for progress, to be better. I don't think it should be your baseline. I think discipline should be your baseline. But I think, when things get tough, things get hard, when you're in a bad cycle, when you're on the, a decline, I think motivation, to see that motivation to see what you want to see, is good because it helps you keep going. You know what I'm saying? If nobody was working for anything, why would you even work? You know what I'm saying? You're working for something. You're doing this for something, right? You're putting in the effort for something and for a goal, right? So that's the motivation. So this video will just be a raw talk, and I'll be dropping one every Monday. But anyway, for this my first motivational Monday video, my first Monday motivation. I haven't decided what I'm gonna call it, but it'll be in the hashtag. I'm not gonna call a video like Monday motivation number one, Monday motivation number two. That's kind of corny. I'm gonna just like title it what the main thing is about. And the main thing for today is, you can't fail if you don't quit. you know, you can't fail if you don't quit. It's really just simple as that. And the reason for that is if you're doing something and it doesn't work out, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, you just took an L, you lost, you suck, whatever." And that's just not true. That's only true if when you take that L, you quit. Because if you take that L and you quit, then you're a loser. You lost. The game's over, right? But if you take that L and you don't quit, you keep going, then that's a lesson because you learned from it and you kept going and the game's still going. So there's two ways to take L's, right? You can take a L, which is a loss, or you can take an L, which is a lesson, right? I don't want to be thrown up doing the L's in the video, whatever. But you can take a loss or a lesson, and it's really just how you see it. So that's why you can't fail if you quit. Like if that, I mean, that's why you can't fail unless you quit. If you quit, then you're a loser and you failed, and it's over with. Game's over. You lost the game. You failed the game. You're done for. Sit down. Over with. See ya. But if something doesn't go your way, it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to, but you learn from that, you take that L and you make that L a lesson and you learn from that L, you didn't fail, my guy. You just got better, actually. You just learned a lesson. You got better from, you got better from, that experience because it wasn't the outcome that you wanted, but it was an outcome that contributed to your growth. You know what I'm saying? It was an outcome that contributed to your growth. Maybe, you were taking a test and, in school, you're taking a test in school and you did not get a good grade. You wanted an A and you got like a C or something. You know what I'm saying? But now you can look at that as a lesson. Like, why did you get that C, bro? Did you really study your hardest? Did you understand the material? And if you didn't understand the material, did you go into office hours? Did you ask the professor for advice? Did you ask your classmates to help you out? If you didn't, then you just learned from that L you took. You learned your lesson. And it was, you need to put more effort into your studying. You need to take more initiative and talk to your teachers. Or again, at work, if you're a sales guy and you're selling stuff, and you knock on a door and you don't get the sale, you learn from that. That's not a loss, bro. You just learn from that. You said the wrong thing to that customer. You said the wrong thing to that potential buyer, and now you need to learn, that you shouldn't say what you said to them. You shouldn't act the way you acted to them. You go to the next door, you knock on the next door, you go to the next house, and now you've learned from the previous L you took, and now you get a W off of that. So because you didn't get that sale right there, you didn't fail. You learned a lesson. You took the L, you took that lesson, but you didn't lose because you went to the next one. You kept going. You didn't quit. You continued. And so The thing I'm trying to say there is you can't fail unless you quit. That's the only way you fail, is when you quit and when the game's over. If you take an L and you keep going, you didn't lose, my guy. You just learned a lesson. You added to your experience, and now you're smarter for it. Now you're wiser for it. So take that lesson that you learned and keep going. You know what I'm saying? And this can be applied into any circumstance. You know, and that's the title of this video. Don't quit. Because when you quit, then you're a loser. When you quit, then you're a failure. Don't quit, dude. Because whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And this can all, like, I'm going to say something here that low-key might be a separate video, but I'm going to add it in here because it really relates. And it's that you can do anything you put your mind to. You can be anybody you put, anything that you want to be. Like, I don't think you guys can see on my wall, but it's like words. It's like I have focus and discipline, because I want to be disciplined and I want to be focused and I want to be driven. You know what I'm saying? But the words are mindset. It's the sky is not the limit. Your mind is. Whatever you can think, you can conceive. Whatever you can believe. The other one is whatever you can believe, conceive, you can achieve. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about your mindset. Like, I studied neuroscience and psychology in college, bro. And I'm telling you, bro, if you think it and you really believe it and you really put the work in for it, you can get that. That's exactly why I have a Corvette flag up. Because I know that I can work hard enough to get a Corvette. I believe I can get a Corvette. I'm going to conceive getting a Corvette, and I'm going to achieve getting a Corvette. I've already looked up the prices. I've already looked up what they look like. Dude, I know I'm going to get a Corvette. It's just a win. It's a win. It's a how hard am I going to work so that I can achieve this in the shortest amount of time possible. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people that, look like me, and people that don't look like me, just me, like people that grew up like me or, were in a similar situation as me, they don't always hear this. And it's, you can be whatever you want, bro. You can be whatever you want in this life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was lucky enough to hear this. My grandfather told me this growing up. Like, I was raised by a single mother. Like, yeah, I knew my dad, but he, wasn't in the picture all the time. He had his own things going on. So I was raised by my mother. And then her dad, my grandfather, was a big part of my life. You know what I'm saying? And he always told me, you can be whatever you want to be if you put your mind to it. And so I feel like a lot of people that look like me or grew up, in a similar circumstance where they had a single parent raising them and their parent wasn't home all the time. Like, my mom was always working, bro. It was me and my sisters, or like me by myself, or me with friends, or, doing whatever I was doing. And I feel like a lot of people around me never heard that, bro, you don't have to sell drugs, bro. You don't have to be working a 9 to 5, bro. You don't have to, do whatever you're doing, bro. You don't even have to go to school. Like, I went to school, but I know people who make way more money than me, way more successful than me, who didn't go to school. So whatever you want to do, if that's what you want to do and you believe you can do that, you can achieve that. And so I'm adding that in there too. Like, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you believe you can do it and you're willing to work for it as well. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll leave you guys with that. You're not a failure unless you quit. You take L's, but they're not losses unless you quit. When you take that L, it's a lesson, and you can do whatever you put your mind to. If you can believe it and conceive it in your mind, then you can achieve it. So don't let anybody tell you can't do it. Stay disciplined, stay focused. The sky is not the limit, your mind is. Peace.